All right, so close your eyes for a second and imagine this. Okay, you're on this like old wooden ship,
Yeah.
right? The year is 1534,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got that, that salty spray of the Atlantic just hitting you in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, bam,
Yeah.
brand new continent just pops up over the horizon.
Just like that.
No Google Maps, no travel blogs,
All right.
just pure uncharted territory.
You're just going off of what you can
But
see.
what would you trade? Like if you meet people there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you trade to them?
Mm-hmm.
Who would you trust? And looking back, what massive blunders might you totally make? Well, that's the scene we're diving into today.
Okay.
It's Jacques Cartier's first encounter with the Iroquoian peoples, right here in Canada.
Oh, wow.
So buckle up, because thanks to this historical text we have, it's a wild ride.
I bet.
And there are definitely some surprises along the way.
So the European mindset at the time was really interesting. Like,
Oh, yeah.
exploration wasn't just some like adventurous whim.
Yeah.
It was fueled by this like burning desire for wealth and power.
Power and wealth, always a good combination.
Spices, gold, new trade routes to the east.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, that's what was driving these expeditions.
Okay, so it was like a real-life treasure hunt
Mm-hmm.
with, like, nations just basically competing to see who could grab the most loot first.
Yeah, basically like a worldwide scavenger hunt.
And so our man Jacques Cartier, he was playing for Team France, right?
He was.
Sent by King Francis I himself
That's right.
to find that elusive Northwest Passage to Asia.
Yes,
And, of course, bring back riches galore.
of course.
But instead of hitting the jackpot in Asia,
Hmm.
Cartier stumbled upon something else entirely,
He did.
the Gulf of St. Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he runs into the St. Lawrence Iroquoians.
Yes, and that wasn't just a casual hello.
No.
This encounter, it actually marked one of the very first documented interactions between Europeans and Indigenous peoples in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a culture clash.
I mean, wow. So this wasn't just some random meet and greet.
No.
It was like a pivotal moment in history.
It really was.
And I can just picture like these two groups,
Oh, yeah.
totally different worlds colliding.
Head to head.
And they couldn't even speak the same language.
Right.
That must have made things interesting,
Oh, to say the least.
at least.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They did find a way to connect
Really? How so?
through trade.
Trade. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Europeans, eager for furs,
Okay.
especially beaver pelts,
Oh, right.
which were like all the rage in Europe,
I can see that. Yeah.
and local food,
Yeah.
they offered up their own treasures.
Interesting. What kind of treasures?
Shiny metal knives,
Ooh.
colorful glass beads, and other trinkets that must seem just utterly fascinating
Right.
to
Yeah.
the Iroquoians.
Yeah, I mean, anything shiny and new,
Exactly.
and different.
Yeah, especially when you've never seen anything like it before.
Right. So it's like a giant swap meet.
Yeah, basically, with each side just trying to figure out what the other valued most.
Exactly. Just trying to see, okay, what do these people want? What do we want? How can we make this work?
Yeah.
But this seemingly simple exchange
Right.
had huge repercussions.
Right.
Oh, yeah. This initial trading laid the groundwork for what would become the fur trade,
Oh, wow.
a massive economic engine
Wow.
that would shape the course of French colonization in Canada for centuries to come.
Okay, so like this little trade interaction
Yeah,
planted the seed for a whole new era.
exactly like a domino effect.
Wow.
Pretty much.
And as they're trading, Cartier is also busy exploring, right?
He was.
That's how he stumbled upon the island
Mhm.
we now call Montreal.
Yeah.
Back then, he christened it Mont Royal.
Love that name.
Yeah, after that majestic mountain rising right from the river.
So beautiful.
And this is where things get interesting and complicated.
Here we go.
Cartier, impressed by the abundance of resources
Mm-hmm.
and the strategic location of Mont Royal, he decided to claim it for France.
Of course.
Now, this act of claiming land without any regard for the existing indigenous sovereignty
Yeah,
became a recurring theme in European colonization.
unfortunately.
It's like they were playing a game of Monopoly,
Oh, yeah.
but with real land and real consequences.
Real people.
Wait, hold on. Explain this indigenous sovereignty thing a bit more.
Okay.
What does that really mean?
It's a crucial concept.
Okay.
It acknowledges that indigenous peoples had their own established systems of governance,
Right.
laws,
Uh-huh.
and relationships with their lands long before Europeans arrived.
So they were self-governing nations.
Exactly.
But European powers often ignored this,
They did.
imposing their own laws and claiming ownership of land they had no right to,
Unfortunately.
leading to conflicts and injustices that continue to this day.
It's true.
So in a nutshell, Cartier basically just strolled in,
Yeah,
declared this land is now French,
pretty much.
without even consulting the people who already lived there.
Yeah. It's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly.
Yeah, and unsurprisingly,
Yeah.
communication breakdowns and cultural differences caused tensions to simmer.
I can imagine.
Just imagine trying to negotiate these like complex agreements when
Right.
you can't even understand each other's basic greetings.
That-
Things could get so lost in translation,
Oh, yeah.
leading to misunderstandings and even outright conflict.
It's like that game of telephone we used to play as kids,
Oh, yeah.
where the message gets totally mangled by the end.
Completely.
Except in this case, it's not a game.
Right.
It has real-world implications.
Real world serious implications.
Yeah, and those implications could be devastating.
Yeah.
One particularly jarring event highlights this power imbalance and cultural disconnect.
Uh-oh.
Cartier decides to take 2 of Chief Donnacona's sons back to France with him.
He did.
Wait, he just took them.
He did.
What was the thinking behind that?
So the official line was that they were guests
Okay.
and would be educated in European ways with the goal of eventual conversion to Christianity.
Oh.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
It was a power move,
Oh, okay.
a way to exert control and demonstrate European dominance.
Gotcha.
This act foreshadowed the often troubled and exploitative relationship that would
Mhm.
develop between indigenous peoples and European settlers.
So this 1534 voyage wasn't just some sightseeing trip.
No, right.
It was like opening Pandora's box.
Oh, yeah.
It set the stage for waves of European exploration and ultimately the colonization of Canada.
Cartier's journey was filled with both wonder and exploitation,
Yeah.
and it had a profound and lasting impact on the history of Canada
Right.
and the lives of its indigenous peoples.
Wow.
It's a legacy we're still grappling with today.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to think that this one encounter, this mix of diplomacy, trade, misunderstanding, and power dynamics
Yeah.
had such a ripple effect.
It's true.
It makes you wonder, knowing what we know now,
Right.
how could these interactions have played out differently? What lessons can we learn from these early encounters to help us build more equitable relationships in the future?
It's a good question to think about.
That's something I'm definitely going to be
Yeah.
pondering.
It's important,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.